sector, and Kenya's central bank has disclosed it would enter talks with Kenya Commercial Bank of Kenya, the country's biggest bank by assets, to buy Imperial Bank, a small lender that has been in receivership for nearly 3 years. Imperial Bank Limited was placed in receivership in 2015 in the month of October after the board of the privately owned lender alerted authorities to suspected malpractices. The Central Bank of Kenya and the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, in a joint statement, noted that KCB had remained the sole bidder interested in Imperial Bank. KDIC is a state body that protects depositors in case of a bank failure. It and the central bank first received proposals from potential buyers for Imperial Bank in April. Thereafter, KCB Kenya and other banks whose names were not released were approached, resulting in a revised proposal. Well, to drive the conversation around this developing story, we now are joined by Johnson Derry, who is an analyst at ABC Capital, and he'll be joining us by way of phone. Good afternoon, Derry. What do you make of these new developments in the banking sector, where we're seeing KCB might be on the front line to acquiring Imperial Bank?
Well, good afternoon, Abi. How are you? Now, to this transaction, obviously we knew it had been in the works for a long time. Mm-hmm. KCB, amongst many other banks, had put offers for Imperial Bank. Mm-hmm. So I think this we are the tail. We look like we are somewhere near the tail end of this transaction. I think KCB is well acquainted with Imperial Bank because they ran Chase Bank, mm-hmm. and so they understand how running a bank in distress works. Yes. Probably they can see value. So they look like they have put in a bid and that has gotten them to the next level. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for Imperial Bank shareholders, going through this process with very few offers like that is not a good thing for them because it doesn't help maximize value for them. Uh-huh. But other winners could be depositors. Depositors will probably be able to secure some of the funding back. So I think in a nutshell, it's not the very best scenario, but at least it's progress.
And finally, Nderi, what should we expect in terms of what will be sort of characterizing this pitch by KCB to acquire Imperial Bank? Will we see a rebrand of the branches? And perhaps how strategic will it be for KCB, which has been trying to crack into the SME market and, of course, the high net worth individuals?
Well, Imperial Bank was SME and corporate bank, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. KCB has good retail business. I think it's also got good corporate business. SME, perhaps they're also growing that as well. Mm-hmm. So the acquisition, I was trying to see where the value is with KCB. Obviously, this acquisition will give KCB an opportunity to squeeze value from Imperial Bank, because if they're the only players in the game at this point, they're probably going to be able to get a bargain on this asset. So if they do that, they're able to generate value as a result.
All right.
But one thing is to remember that because the business shut down, the question is whether the depositors, given the freedom, whether they will want to continue banking with KCB, or will they go move to another bank of their choice. So it's a very dynamic transaction. Mm-hmm. It could go in many number of ways. But I think if KCB is able to get it at a discount, they'll be able to get a good profit from it. I think that's where the opportunity is for KCB.
All right, many thanks there, Johnson Dairy, for your insights into this all-important story that we continue to keep an eye on for you here on KTN Business.